So I agree with I agree with I agree. I don't want to live forever. I agree. Shit, I don't want to live forever either. You know what I'm saying? Like all this shit is just this shit is just a pattern of this shit will just repeat. You know what I'm saying? Like you have a task, like you got to struggle to complete the task. You complete the task, you feel victorious. Bam. Now you got to now a new task come up. And you got to complete the task, struggle to like figure out the task, struggle to complete the task, complete the task. All right, bam. It's just like a never ending like fucking journey of up and down, like tasking over tasks and tasks and tasks. Now, I feel like as a human being, that shit is great if you have the ability to like live one lifespan, have a great run at that one lifespan, and then like fuck it, call it good. But I know some people want to live forever or just relive life or do it again because some people wasn't the handsome guy or the pretty girl or the funny guy or the guy with money or the guy that got the girl or the star, or some people like really had a bad shake at life, so they want to redo this shit over. And a lot of people that got the money, them is a motherfuckers too that kind of like are being driven towards wanting to like not let life end because they want to continue it because they trying to capture some of the emotional feelings that they never had. Now, me personally, kind of like how like Dr. Tyson was saying, or Degrassi, I think that's his name. I kind of feel similar to him, and I've been saying this shit for a long ass time because I already figured out that the world was kind of like, I don't want to say bullshit, but I already figured out that it's just like our society is made up. We really you know what I mean? I don't say we really animals, but like a lot of this stuff is not real. So because my personality gravitates towards anything that's real or I'll say anything that's pure. This world is not pure. So because most of the shit that we have out here hasn't been pure in forever, I've never really got attached to anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you listen to me and listen to my thoughts, like as a black man, I've never got attached to the black shit. As a worker, I've never got attached to like the working in society. Like I've never got attached to none of this shit because I've never thought none of this shit was really truly pure. The only thing that's really truly pure is like love, laughter, like good food. You know what I mean? Like a real good sight you can see. You know what I mean? Like a good critical think or solving something. Those are the only things that's really pure, right? Those things that you feel inside. That's it. Everything else is like kind of something that man kind of like orchestrated. But I don't want to, I don't want to live forever because like, say if you had sex, like how much sex can you have to where you like, damn, you want to fuck 10,000 bitches? You know what I'm saying? Like how many orgasms you want to have, how many steaks you want to eat, how many ribs you want to eat, how many times you want to go to Paris, how many times you want to go to Rome, how many times you want to vote for an election, how many times you want to watch TV, how many home runs you want to see, how many people you want to see score touchdowns. It's like, after a while, it's like, come on, this shit is, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Let's wrap this shit up. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Now it is exciting if you like you can find meaning, right? Because I do that. I find ways every day to like be excited about life, and I'll try to put you in a mentality of how there's people that can do that. Like if you pay attention to Michael Jordan's The Last Dance, what he said is sometimes he would make up stuff that people were saying about him just so he can keep that a drive or motivation to want to like just dog niggas out on the court. And it's the same shit. Like you can literally wake up and find meaning. You know what I mean? You find a reason to want to celebrate Christmas. You find a reason to want to, go out on a Friday. You find a reason to, you know what I mean? Want to wake up every day. And like part of that I would say is momentum. Like you gotta it's momentum that makes you want to wake up every day because you gotta have like a streak of just good shit going on. You know what I mean? And you gotta figure out a way to keep that shit going. But like I 100% agree with him. Like I don't want to have a short lifespan. I want to have a full lifespan, but I'm not one of those people where like, nah, man, let me be here for 1, 2, 100, 105, 200, 300. You know what I mean? Like, nah, I'm cool on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like 80, 85, 80 years old, however, you know what I'm saying? As long as I get to see my kids, maybe some grandkids, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I can see some of the new technology shit that's about to come out, motherfuckers flying around in the sky and a couple of those things, then I'm cool. You know what I mean? Like, but the world is about to get a lot more just inventive and creative, and I don't really know if I want to see all of that shit because you know what I mean? I'm not really of that time. You know what I mean? I'm cool with the time period that I'm from. You know what I mean? I'm cool with that shit. And I don't want to see too much of this crazy shit that they about to start doing because, I'm not even saying it's wrong. It's just going to be some new shit that's too new for me. And I don't need no too much new shit. You know what I'm saying? You know how motherfuckers be like, oh, sushi is the new rave or try this new. Like, nah, I eat fried chicken, homie. I don't need sushi, homie. I know it look good, it's colorful and all that shit, but do you like it? You like it? Okay, cool. Well, you eat that. I'll eat this fried chicken, and then that's it. That's it. To add to the argument that I'm not, like, I don't want to live forever, I do want to say, because I feel like Dr. Degrassi, or Dr. I don't know this dude's name. Like, I feel like he made a good point as far as, like, it is easy to say, but in retrospect, like, if you was, you know what I mean, if you was on your deathbed and they say, hey, we can extend your life another year, would you be like, yeah, I would? So I would say this. There's some people that have come to that conclusion, like he said, his mom, who was like, oh, yeah, I am kind of like, she was at a point in her life where she was comfortable not seeing any more of life. But I would say the caveat with his mom, between him and his mom, is his mom was 80 years old and she felt like for whatever life has to give her, she felt like she had already seen enough of it, did it enough, repeated it enough, and she was ready to go. That's kind of how I take it, because most of the life is repetitive, right? So when I was first thinking about the doctor's kind of theory about like being ready to go, and would he, you know what I mean, would he want to extend his life? He brought up like, well, I would want to write books and I have stuff to like offer to the world and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I started to think like, oh yeah, that's a good point. Because I used to think like, man, I don't want to say I don't fear death, but like, I don't, want to live forever. But then when I started thinking about his situation, I was like, oh yeah, that's a good point. But then I started really listening to him and I started thinking like, well, there is kind of a difference between him and what he's actually saying is, and I think his situation is a more of an ego in the sense, if you think about it, because he's assuming that he has something to offer the world in the sense that he needs to continue to keep living and he's on his deathbed. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing, I guess. Like, or I don't know. But I feel like that's just an interesting thing to think about. It's just an interesting dynamic of it, because that's kind of one of those ego things, kind of like, kind of coming up again, rearing his head in the struggle between life or death, right? I don't know. So that's kind of what I was seeing about that. You got your ego. And I was thinking, like, I don't want to say I don't care. Like, one of my main thing is, I would say this. I would like to believe that if I was in a situation and I was on my deathbed, that I would kind of be like rest assured and be like, okay, I am comfortable. But I know that, like he was saying, I know for me, one of the things that I've always said, because I've always talked like that. Like, I really am kind of like, okay with not living forever, or like, man, I really, you know what I mean? Kind of would say like, hey, I don't got, you know what I mean? There's not too more to see, or whatever in life or whatever. But with having children and having my sons, I felt like that is something that I always be cautious about, because I do want to see them and I do want to see their kids, at least like them, and see their kids, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, and just be a part of that kind of, like, that's something that I do want to experience. And so, like, if I was to be in a situation where somebody was to ask me right now today, yes. But I think it's a good point, because I think if somebody was to ask Dr. Degrassi if he was 80 And if somebody was to ask me if I was 80, I probably would have my same answer that I have now, and he probably would have the same answer that he has now, which is like, yes, I've seen enough, or I've done enough, kind of. Even if he hadn't wrote any more books at 80 years old, I think he would still be at that point. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like one of those weird things, because you can ask a question and be like, hey, like, damn, I would change my mind. I would want to live another year. But I guarantee, well, I would lean more towards the thinking of, if we was both 80 years old and it was like that time, we would probably be like, yeah, all right, cool, let's go. Because the philosophy that he has, like, hey, are you contributing to society, or just like, how many more steak and lobster dinners do you want to eat at Red Lobster? Like, how many more, how many more high school graduations you want to stand through? So, you know what I mean? Especially as a frail ass old man. So it's like, I kind of had the same philosophy. And then, like, you want to be this old frail ass man on a yacht balling? Like, no, like, let the other other motherfuckers have a shot at this shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, trust me, death is scary as fuck, but fuck.